So hey, what's up you guys, how's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my first place, not Bistal Spright, wow, that's not what it is at all. I'm going to be showing you guys my updated Runick Spright deck for the current format. I know you guys are probably still tired of seeing Spright, but we actually splashed some Runick cards in here, and we just wanted to see how the deck could work. I didn't have a lot of expectation for this tournament. I went in there with not a whole lot of testing. I kind of just built this deck the night before, and I ended up taking it and didn't drop a single match all night. I went 3-0-1 with one draw, and me and another guy just tied up, but Papa's tiebreakers were a little bit better tonight, so we were able to take home first. The deck was a lot of fun. I mean, it's really nice to just banish your opponent's deck, so that's always cool. And then other than that, like, there's nothing really too special about this list. I know I talked a little bit of shit about this deck in the past with that one Runick video I did right before Joshua won the YCS. Thanks, big guy. But other than that, like, this deck was still a lot of fun, and I'm just going to show you guys what I played. I'm not really going to go too crazy in depth. I mean, the deck is very, very simple and standard, but I'll talk about the card choices, of course. Starting off with the main deck, we were on 3 copies of Spright Blue, of course. I'm trying to find like the best lighting here. I'm apologizing in advance. 3 blue, have to play 3 blue. 3 copies of Jet, of course. Still have to play 3 Jet. 1 red, 1 carrot, and 1 Pixies. I still think you should be playing Pixies. I had multiple instances where I needed the Pixies today, so I was really glad to have it. And other than that, like, you could definitely not play it if you don't want to, but preference-wise, I definitely enjoyed playing Pixies. It came up for me a lot, and we take those dubs. So 9 Spright cards. For extra 2s, I just played the 1 Wind-Up Kitten as well as the Hyperia. You could not play this. You could just play like double Hyperia, or you could play Hyperia Capshell. I just still decided to play Kitten. I think Kitten was really good, to be honest, for me. Being able to just get rid of like problematic cards. Wind-Up Kitten just came up a lot. Being able to just use this with Lava Golem and then bounce it back to your hand is really good. Wind-Up Kitten also just being like a soft once per turn as well. Hyperia was, of course, amazing as always. I really miss playing this card in Spright, but being able to just draw into tip, draw into like any other Runick card. I don't play any hand traps, a little spoiler alert there, but these cards were really good. Wouldn't really complain about these because they were just so good. You don't really see this in a whole lot of Runick builds, but I was on the Beaver, Angler, and Swap package. I did talk a lot of shit about 3 swaps in the past, and I should probably talk about why I went with 3 swaps this time, but the main reason was just so your carrot and your smashers and your red could just resolve without having to pop one of your links for your turn 1s, but I honestly enjoyed having the 3rd swap. I can't really lie. I think it was really good, and I think going forward I'd probably play 3 going towards the next list or whatever it is that happens, but 3 swap was definitely correct. I think going forward I might just stick to 3 swap, but everything else was nice and standard. 2 Angler, 3 to Beaver, don't really have to explain too much there, but definitely moving forward I'm going to keep playing 3 swap. So that's actually it for the monsters. No hand traps, no Bistals, no nothing. We were just playing straight combo. Other than that, for the spells, we were on 3 copies of Starter, of course, as well as the 1 Smashers. Have to play the Smashers. Way too good not to play. And then the Runick. So we were on 1 Dispelling, 1 of the Smiting Storm, 3 copies of Slumber, 3 Flashing Fire, 3 Freezing Curses, 3 Destruction, 3 Tip, and of course 2 Fountain. But I definitely did like this ratio a lot. I think having these cards at the numbers they were definitely correct. I didn't really miss anything. I didn't think Golden Droplet was necessary. I even took out like the Dispelling games 2 and game 3 depending on the matchup. But this Runick lineup was fine. I didn't really like miss anything. They were definitely all good. I think the only cards that I really cited out was just the Dispelling. Just because it has like the least relevant effect of all the Runick cards. But I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, these cards were broken, as always. These cards just being able to just banish your opponent's deck, help you win by deck out, help you win by just controlling the board, managing your resources, really good as well. But I wish I could say more about this, but I can't. That is 42 cards in the main deck. I was going to play nice even 40, but I wanted to have the extra Runick names, so I had to put the Dispelling and the Storm in there for that reasoning. And then the other thing too was I was okay with going over 40 because it just meant that I got to play the Frog Engine, and ending on Toad with a live Fountain is just amazing. It's going to blow your opponent out every single time. But 42 cards, no more, no less. Shouldn't say too much there. I think the hardest part, to be honest, was probably the extra deck, because there was a lot of cards that I wanted to play but couldn't like find the room for. So going forward, I definitely want to like figure out what I'm going to do with that, but I don't even know if I'm going to keep playing this deck, to be honest. But for the extra deck, we were on 2 Hugin. You could probably play 3. I just didn't have access to 3, so I just played the 2 Hugin and the 1 Gary. Gary I never made. This card is good, don't get me wrong, but it just never came up for me. I never saw myself to where like I needed the Gary, because again, it's not level 2, so it just never came up for me. Great card, really broken, but unusable. Hugin, I actually didn't really summon that much because a lot of the time I would draw the fountain, and when that happens, I just barely ever made the Hugin. I was just using the Runicks for their own effects, and that was good, to be honest, but I would definitely like probably still keep this ratio. I don't think the third like really comes up because you barely summon the second one from time to time, but that's really it. Mugen didn't come up at all during testing like in the past, so I just thought I would be safe not playing it for this tournament, and I was. But just the 3 Runick fusions is good. For Xyzes, there's very few, mainly because I didn't want to lose to like blowout cards like D-Barrier or anything like that. So we were on 2 Gigantic, 1 Onibimaru, and the Toad. That was it. There wasn't really a lot of like other Xyzes that I wanted to use. Like I didn't want to play Zeus because I felt like if I had Zeus on board with the fountain, then I'd just be giving up multiple resources, and the Runick cards always do like such a great job at clearing your opponent's board anyway, to where you don't need the Zeus. I never missed Zeus at all. I thought these cards were fine. The only one that I didn't really summon was the Onibimaru, but everything else was fine. I think going forward, I would like to play a Sky Cavalry, but it just didn't happen. Or not Sky Cavalry, the Gin Buster. But this ratio was fine. Just 4 Xyzes was good. I got D-Barrier during the tournament, and all I did was just link climb and killed him. So you just need the 4 Xyzes, it's fine. For the links, of course, we played Sprint because we're playing the Nimbles. Double Elf, shouldn't have to say too much here. I wanted to play 3, but since I was on the Sprint, I just opted to play 2. And honestly, the 3rd Elf never came up for me, so it was fine. Masquerena, of course. Dark Charmer, this was good against the other Spright player I played against. Shout out to you, King Kaiba, Meta Bros. Dark was good for just getting yourself advantage, being able to bring back their blue, get access to your own Spright engine with their cards is really good. But this was also just good for link climbing as well. We played 1 copy of Unicorn for the Masquerena. I didn't play Phoenix. You don't need Phoenix when you're playing 3 copies of Destruction and it's searchable, so you basically have 6 copies of it. But Phoenix is one of those cards that I was gonna miss, but since I had such a strong like main deck, I didn't really need it. 1 access code and then 1 Abramax. I felt like this was all you needed. The extra deck is a really tight for Runick Spright, if I may be honest, so there was definitely cards that I wish that I could have played but couldn't just because of the wiggle room that I had. But that's really it for the extra deck. Just 15 cards again, no more, no less. Super self-explanatory. Rounding it off for the side deck, I was on the Red Resonator because it's still just the best tuner. 3 Lava Golem. This card is the best level 8 in the game right now. Can't really complain. This card is really good when you pair it with Wind Up Kitten. Just being able to bounce it back and then just plop it on the field again. Really good. And that's really that. Another really good tuner. Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. This was one of the reasons why I won one of my games. And I was going to play 3 of this, but I couldn't find the room for it, so I just hopped to play 2, and honestly 2 was fine. Didn't really see myself needing more, just with all the drawing that you do and the consistency you have with the Runick engine. It's really good. I was on 3 talents in the side deck. I still feel like this card should just stay in the side deck. I never really need this card in the main deck because I'm just not trying to brick. I'd rather just see multiple engine pieces, see multiple Runick spells, so that way I can get into my Hugin access. But 3 talents on the side deck was really good. I resolved this card a lot more than I have been lately. Today alone, and it's just had mind-blowing like outcomes. So 3 talents, definitely really good for the side deck. 2 Lightning Storm. I wanted to play 3 but didn't have room. Change of Heart, never sided this in. This could probably be the 3rd Lightning Storm if you want. And then I was on 3 Evenly Match. Evenly Match, I never sided it in just because I didn't take in consideration that I wasn't going to be having a battle phase, so Evenly Match was mainly going to be dead most of the time, even though it is a side deck card. But I don't know. I never sided it in. I didn't really see myself needing it because Again, the Runicks do such a good job at board clearing. These probably should have just been like more hand traps, or these should have been like Dark Ruler No More or Dark Hole. But that's really it for the deck, guys. I mean, it is just something that I kind of threw together just to play at locals. It's nothing too crazy or overwhelming. It's just another Spright list that I'm bringing to you guys. I do apologize for the access of Spright on my channel, but it's just the deck that I have the most fun with. You can splash so many different things with it and play it in so many different ways to where it just becomes more fun that way. And yeah, I know people aren't really like happy to still be playing against it, but since we're in a tier heavy format, I still had to compete with tiers somehow, so we just opted for Runick Spright, and the deck was really good. I can't really complain. Good choices, good opponents, and just good playing in general. Like, I think every game that I played, like, there wasn't really a whole lot of misplays. Everyone just played really well, and I'm really proud of that. But other than that, that's going to do it for the deck profile, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe for more, and until next time, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.